Hey, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Daily Dose, episode number 7. Happy Sunday to you. Hope you're doing awesome. We got a little bit of rain here today. It's a little dreary, but we're going to make the best of it. Anyway, so the Daily Dose, what this is, if you haven't watched it before, this is day number 7, episode number 7 of the Daily Dose. And my name, by the way, is Mark Avens. I'm the creator of the Lean Body Breakthrough. I work with moms and dads over 40, helping them lose weight, get in better shape without long workouts and impossible diets. And now that's a side note. If you want information, you can just hit me up on there. But what I'm doing now is what's called the Daily Dose. And the way I see it is we can be getting a daily dose of a number of different things throughout our days. We can wake up and get a daily dose of the news. We can get a daily dose of stress, get a daily dose of all the things that we have to take care of. And so I thought, as a way to help combat that, not to say that we shouldn't be aware of all the things and the things that we need to do to take care of ourselves and our families and be safe and sound and all those good things. But I just felt the need that we all could use a little bit of encouragement, myself included. So in essence, this is a little bit of encouragement for myself doing this, but just knowing that I can be of help to you and providing some encouragement. Something that I've been doing with my coaching clients, more into health and fitness, but as well, the one thing we need to all understand is, as much as I can talk about physical and getting in better shape and healthy, that there's a physical component to getting healthy, and then there's also this up here, the mental component. So in today's time, we could all use a little bit of encouragement. That's what I'm going to share with you. If you haven't seen the other episodes, you can go back and check those out. I do them every day. It's daily, 8 a.m. I'm making the pledge to do this on a daily basis, and we're going to do it every single day. So 8 a.m., apologize I'm a minute or two late, but if you're just jumping on here, I appreciate. Just let me know that you're here. You can give me a thumbs up, like, high five. If the only thing I ask from this is that if you find this valuable, if you don't, that's cool. You don't have to watch it again. But if you find value in this, if it's helping you, it may help somebody else. And if there's, one thing I think we all could use is just extra help, extra community in this time where right now we're being forced to be physically distanced. It doesn't mean we have to necessarily, even though they're calling it socially distanced, is we can connect. And this is, the beautiful thing about technology is we are able to do that. But I got some notes I want to share with you what I put together. And this one's really awesome, so I hope you pay attention. Just so you know, I'm inspired by the people that I'm around. I'm inspired by my family. I'm inspired by people I talk to, my coaching clients. I'm inspired by my faith. And I'm going to bring that together to just give you a bit of encouragement. I know right now churches are getting ready to go out and do online service. I know there's a struggle. So one thing on a side note, while we're working in our Sundays and maybe you're sitting in your pajamas or waking up later because you don't have to go to church because you're going to watch it from your living room, is to just pray for our church, the people who have been providing services typically in person who are now doing it online, just as our church is Beach Church. And I just ask for, on a side note, some prayers for them. So let me just share with you today. I want to talk to you about taking that first step. The first step. So just think of that. And actually I posted earlier about, it was a Bob Goff quote, and I'll just read that first. You don't need to be special for God to use you. All you need to do is say yes. And sometimes that could be the first step, is just saying yes to God. And maybe right now you don't have any faith, and maybe, you're kind of lost and trying to figure it out. Maybe you're angry with God because, you're thinking that he's against you and not for you. And I'm just going to share with you that he is for you, first off. And I just want to share with you a few other things. And this is, I have even an illustration I'm going to show you in just a minute. But, really, one of the things that I find in this is that I don't know, there's nothing necessarily special about me, honestly, just to come on here and to provide encouragement. I can tell you I've had so many people. Part of the reason why I'm doing this daily dose of encouragement is because I've been encouraged by so many people over time, normal, regular people. Just like if you've looked in the Bible, there's just regular people, just normal. The disciples that walked with Jesus for a couple of years, they were all just regular guys, and that's the cool thing, is you don't have to be special. So just so you know this, you are special. I mean, and that's the thing, is we are made in the image of God, and that's what's really, really special about us. But on a side note, again, let me just share this with you. I looked at my memories. It's pretty cool, when you get bored and you're online and doing Facebook and trying to stay away from as much of the junk as you can. I looked up my memories. I don't know if you do that. It's just a little side note. And I looked up and I posted a quote. Actually, I think I made the quote. I don't know. But I said, if you want, and this is this regarding health, but I want to share this with you, how important it is in this time of encouragement, taking that first step. If you want to take that first step to getting now I was talking about body and health, and getting your health back in shape, you must first bring your mind all the way up to the staircase. Isn't that true though? Like, regardless, you can think about it with your health, but you can also think about it with your faith. Is in order to actually even consider like a relationship with God, is actually, you first kind of need to open up your mind and realizing two things: that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to get yourself perfect before you can actually be of use to God. And I'm a perfect example. I'm definitely as flawed as most of them are out there, even probably in this live. But I trust in God that He's going to provide what He needs for me to be able to provide the encouragement for you. So that's just kind of it. And the other thing is, one of the other things, you have to make a choice. Now, I'm not talking about making a choice to walk with God or not. I'm just talking about some of the things in general, just life things right now that can be of help for you taking that first step. And maybe taking a first step away from some other things before taking that first step closer to Him. So here's one of the things I want to share with you that I'm choosing today. And one of the things that's kept me fairly calm, don't get me wrong, I'm human, I have stress, I worry for others. My wife is a healthcare provider. She goes into the hospital. We talked about that already. And there's a bit of worry, when my kids, are kind of at home and feeling like, even though we're getting closer necessarily as a family and having more time together, it's still hard, right? But one of the things you have to make the decision is choosing. And I'm going to share with you 5 things that I'm not choosing to do today. And if this helps you maybe take that first step, this is great. Number 1, I'm choosing not to fear tomorrow. I'm choosing not to fear tomorrow. That's number 1. Number 2, I'm going to choose not to overthink. First of all, I'm pretty simple in my thought process. Little there's a flaw in that, but I'll say is I'm not going to try to overthink things too far advanced. That's number 2. Number 3, now there's stress, so a little bit of stress is okay, but I'm not going to stress out and let that overcome me and take over my life. That's number 3. Number 4, I'm not going to believe in the worst. I believe that I believe that I'm in an amazing place living in where I do and having access to the things that I need. I'm believing that I'm going to believe in the best, not in the worst. Now, you can look at what the worst is. We tend to go kind of drawing our attention to the worst, and I would just caution you to be careful, because that can lead down a dark road quick. That's number 4. Number 5 is not feeling sorry for myself. I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. I'm not going to say, oh, I can't go to the beach and I can't do this and I can't, there's maybe potential business that I'm losing from this and, all those other things and relationships and not being out and not being able to go to a restaurant, look, all those things. I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. So those are 5 things that I choose not to do today. So hopefully that'll be helpful. And why I say that is because that may be what you need before you can take that first step. And I want to show you this something that's really kind of, and it just kind of came to me this morning. I have an illustration, so get ready for this because I think this is going to be awesome. Now I got two people. I mentioned first Bob Goff. He has a great book, and I'm going to share with you. I want to be as practical too. This is a fantastic book, by the way. I don't make any money off it. Love Does. It's such a great book by Bob Goff. And loving others. And for me, the way I'm an extrovert, so the way I can love on you is to provide some encouragement for you. It's such a great book, and if we all just loved others instead of complaining and arguing and getting mad and angry and posting all the anger, I'm going to try to, every time I see a post, it makes me want to double up on how much I want to provide more encouragement to you. Maybe that's why I'm doing a daily post, why you've been seeing me on here live, because I refuse to let all of that get caught up in here. So Love Does, such a great book. That's one of them. And then the other one is a really cool, and I'm going to first share with you the illustration that was shared with me. It's really, really awesome. And this can really put things into perspective. Because there was a guy, I was on a trip, and there was a girl, that shared with me this illustration of really how our life is. And imagine, let me just kind of preface. We have 2 ways to go about it. And there's the thought of how long our life is and how we choose to spend it. Now, let's just share. I'm going to go into the illustration. I think that I'll share with you. So I got this rope here. So this is a big rope. This is like a workout rope, battling rope here. And I'm not going to show it all because it's like literally all the way down. In fact, I can. Let me show you this. Let me show you this rope real quick. See that rope right down there? Oh, sorry, you can't see. You can see maybe the side of it. No, you can't see it because I'm on the thing. Yeah, so let me turn this around for you. So you see that rope right there? All right, I turned that around. So that is right there. It's called a battling rope. But just pretend it's just a big rope. See this? And then this is the handle. They keep this so that it keeps the rope together. So I learned this little illustration. You may have even seen it before by a pastor by the name of Francis Chan. So, and you imagine right now, so think of the rope being existence, just being kind of all of existence. And imagine for a moment that you have kind of like this is the start of your life and this is the end of your life as humans on Earth. And what's crazy is to believe that our timeline of existence is that so many people, and again, I've done it before as well, is we spend so much of our time in here in this period worrying about so much of just this little bit. Now, this is death. This is when we die right here. Life right here and death right here. So thinking about the time we spend all of our time worrying about this little bit right here, this little bit. Like retirement, hey, I gotta save, I gotta work hard, and I get it, I get all those things, insecurity and all those things for those last 10, 20, 30 years, when we retire, blah, blah, blah. But here's the difference. If we believe in eternity, again, this is for those of you who believe in eternity, what about all the rest of this rope? And let me just share this. Let me just kind of turn this here a little bit so you can see. I got this rope. I'm gonna pull this rope. And just imagine this whole rope all the way here, eternity. So what's kind of crazy to believe is to think that we are so focused, like on the rope. I mean, you have to move this back a little bit here. We're so focused in our life, so much here, for a little moment of time, like this little bit here, right now, maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a few months. And we're so worried about that, when in reality, we actually think about like eternity. Think about all the stuff in here, all of the rest of the rope. Just imagine the rope going on and on forever and ever and ever and ever. And that's what's kind of crazy. And I don't do it as good a justice as Francis Chan. You can in fact go back and watch. Just look up Francis Chan. In fact, he has an amazing book. It's actually called Crazy Love. Hey, look, both books I'm sharing with you both say love. I just noticed that now. Such a great book. If you need some good reading, don't go watching the Netflix outbreak and all that stuff that's going to just kind of fill your mind with negative thoughts. Go ahead and get yourself a good book about love. Such a good reference. So let me just share with you. So that rope going on forever and ever. And then why do we spend so much time thinking about the comfort of our time in existence? Think about that as just the time right now, how being comfortable with right now and why that's so important for the last 5, 10, 20 years, when in reality we should be thinking and why we should be loving more and caring for others and encouraging others more is for the rest, is for eternity. Because here's at the end of the day, the things that we think about, a lot of us think about most, this last, what we have, selfish needs, our money, how much money we have or how much we don't have, and the things we're going to leave to our kids, this stuff right here to the end, and that's it. When in reality, you're thinking the other thing is focusing on other people and eternity. And that's the difference. That's like the step. Why I shared this being like a first step and the things you choose not to do is because it's so important, I think, in now and time where we get so focused on right now. We get so focused on, what's going to happen tomorrow, worried about our jobs, worried about other people. And that's great. I love, that's super important. But what if we were to think about what's to come in eternity? What can we do right now to help affect eternity? That's pretty crazy. Now, again, if you're not a believer and you don't believe and you believe at the end of your time is the end of your time, that's cool. That's for you. But I would say it's for those of you who believe in believing in eternity, that we're going to live million years after life, is that we should be thinking now, what are the things that we can be doing to help others, to care for others, to pray for others? Prayer is so important. And I don't know, again, in here, people say things like, this is kind of crazy. This is actually right from Francis Chan. And he did say, we get one chance at this life on earth. One chance. We get one chance. So why not make it the best that we can? People say, now I'm just quoting this from his video that I saw, is people say like, and I've heard it before, like, you're crazy, man. You're going, thinking about the small part. People say to me, like, why are you not worried about they're like this? Because it's going to affect this a little bit here. Why aren't you worried about your retirement and all these things all here? And I'm thinking to myself, and this is what he said, and I'm thinking to myself, well, why are you not thinking about all of this? Why aren't you thinking about eternity, all the eternal things? The rope that goes on and on forever. That to me is crazy, that people are more worried about what's right to come in the next 5, 10, 20 years versus what's to come for the rest of eternity, afterlife. That's the thing that really kind of blows me. And he's a little bit more blunt. He's like, and I wrote it down. He's like, no, people say you're stupid because it's going to affect all of this. And he's talking about the small rope. And then he's like, no, you're stupid because it's going to affect all of this. And he shows the long rope. And again, I didn't do it nearly as justice as Francis Chan, but I can just say it goes back to just taking that first step. Is you can take the next step, and the next step is just relying on your own efforts, relying on just pulling up your bootstraps, or hunkering down and just tough it out. Or you can reach out. You can reach out to others. You can reach out to God for help. You can reach out when you're fearing tomorrow. You can reach out when you're overthinking, when you're stressing out. You can reach out when you're believing in the worst. You can reach out when you're feeling sorry for yourself. My point isn't to point this out that, hey, I'm just not doing that and I'm all cool. It's that I know there's a lot of people right now that are fearing tomorrow, that are overthinking, really overthinking, that are stressing out so much. I know, I'm talking to people that are really believing the worst, the end is coming, and then that are feeling sorry for themselves. And I can just share with you is that there's going to be another day, and you can choose one or two things. You can choose to go down that road, and I can tell you it's going to be worse. You're going to be worse off after we get all out of this, and we're going to get through this. We've gotten through so many other things. We're going to get through this. But it requires you to take that first step, that action step. Maybe today, because it's Sunday, instead of watching more news, maybe you turn on one of the church services that are going online. Our church does it. If you want to reach out to me like, Mark, I want to watch your church service and watch that today. There's a lot. There's going to be probably millions of churches that are online today, again, regardless. And I'm not saying you necessarily just have to watch church. But I would say it's an action step that can help with those things that I talked about, that can cause you maybe to put the fear aside, maybe to cause you to maybe not think as much of the worst, to maybe not stress out as much, or even to feel sorry for yourself. And I'll tell you what, that's what's helping me get through. My family, our faith together as a family, the other believers and friends that we have around us, the encouragement that I get that, hey, we've gone through this, we've gotten through that, we're going to get through this as well. And why? Because we have faith. And I'll tell you what, that's what's holding me tight. And I hope, again, this message finds you well. It's a daily dose of encouragement. Two things I'll share with you just in the finish. Great book, really, really great book, Bob Goff. And then this is another one too. If you need, there's a quick reads too. These are 200 pages. You can read this if it's a rainy day like it is here. You can read it in an afternoon. Crazy Love is the same, 200 pages, 220. Great book there. About love. Both of them are about love, and that's what I want for you. Is if this was encouraging to you, all I ask is to share. Mark Avens, The Daily Dose. I love you. Just let you know that I'm praying for you. In fact, I'm going to finish right now and a little prayer, and then we're going to go. This is first time. Day 7 is Sunday. Why not? Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I'm just so grateful for those of you, those that you brought to this daily dose. I'm just grateful for the ability of technology for me to connect with other people. And whether they listen to me, share my faith, my story, blessings on them, words of encouragement, I just ask that it just covers over them today in their stress, maybe their anxiety and worrying about tomorrow and believing the worst. And, I just ask that you just cover over them. Maybe this is the moment that they need to hear from just a regular guy like me, nothing special, but just something that I'm encouraged by so many others. And of course, Lord, I'm just encouraged by you. And I know the only thing in it for me is that I can share this love with others. And I just ask and pray over people today who are struggling, who maybe lost their jobs or are worried about getting sick, or worried about, people in their lives, worried just that they're going to be cooped up inside, and everything from the smallest cares to the biggest worries. I just ask and pray, Lord, that you just watch over us, because you created us in your image and you love us. And I just ask and pray for those that don't know you yet, that maybe this is the opportunity for them to get to know you or to start to know you. And in this, all I say, in Jesus' name, amen. So take care and God bless. Episode number 7. I hope today finds you well. Share this with a friend. Coach Mark, take care and God bless. We'll see you.